Terrence Crawford knows that if he beats me, there's nobody else in the world that can beat him.
Greatness can come from anywhere.
I draw inspiration from the Filipino people and to God and my family. Hard work is the most difficult things in boxing.
Let's get into it.
Strength does not equate to power, and power does not equate to strength. Errol Spence is the bigger guy. That's why he said himself, it's getting hard making 147. That's why he is destined to be at 154. Terrence Crawford, he wants to go to 54 because he wants to knock off Charlo for running his mouth. But will he get to Charlo before Errol Spence? That's a different story. And now Errol Spence, he's the bigger guy. Terrence Crawford has stopped his last 10 opponents. The last time I checked, a lot of those opponents were at 147. So Errol Spence coming into this fight, yes, he's strong. Yes, he's broken orbital bones. Yes, he's busted up a lot of his opponents. Yes, he stopped some of his opponents. Yes, he's knocked out some of his opponents. But Terrence Crawford has done all the same things, y'all. And he has stopped his last 10 opponents, like I said. Spence ain't did that. So for people to write Terrence Crawford off like he has no power, like he has no strength coming into this fight against Errol True Spence, I understand if you a fan of Errol Spence. But last time I checked, his profession is a professional prize fighter in the sport of boxing. So if you love boxing, which Errol Spence is one of the best in the business, how can you not respect the game and see the problems in the world of hurt that Terrence Crawford can give and bring to Errol the Truth, aka the Big Fish, Spence Jr.? Please, somebody tell me. Because if I hear somebody else say Spence is the bigger guy and all this, if you listen to people talk about Bud, a lot of them talk about how strong he is. You guys seen some of the videos, man, like this dude is deadlifting 9,000 pounds. You know what I mean? Come on, like Bud is strong, just like Spence is strong. And between the two, if you look at the variations of stoppages and knockouts between Bud and the Big Fish, Bud is doing a little bit more damage in that department, you guys. So you cannot sit up here and say Crawford does not have the tools and the power to go in there and execute and get Spence out of there. Just like in my right mind, I cannot sit up here and say that Errol Spence can't go into this fight and hurt Terrence Crawford. He is proven, he is capable. This video is not about saying that Terrence Crawford is stronger or have more power than Errol Spence. No, it's not about that. This video is to prove a point. Just because you are strong, it does not mean that you have power. And just because you have power, it does not mean that you are strong. You look at somebody like Anthony Joshua. You see how big Anthony Joshua is? Is he knocking all of his opponents out? No. You see how big Tyson Fury is? Is he knocking out all of his opponents? No. He knocked out Deontay Wilder because Deontay Wilder, he came into that fight heavier than he has ever been. Why? Because in the previous fight with Tyson Fury, Fury's putting his weight on, you know what I'm saying, the bronze bomber. So he wanted to be a little bit more strong, so he wasn't getting out-muscled in that fight. And that was the detriment of Deontay Wilder. And he wasn't getting knocked out because he was gassed out, his legs was gone. Dana later came on and they was talking about how he had to walk up a whole bunch of steps and all that, wearing that big walkout uniform that he did with the mask and all that robotic crap. Look, point is, talking about Deontay Wilder, he is generally the smaller guy when he fights his opponents. They outweigh him by 20, 30, 40 pounds. And what has Deontay Wilder did to all of them? Put him to sleep. Get him a pillow. Get him a blanket. Deontay Wilder be folding dudes. You know what I'm saying? And he's not the strongest heavyweight, but he's the most powerful heavyweight. I'm talking about volcanic power. I'm talking about TNT, C4. If he hits you, you going to sleep. He will put you in the twilight zone, sprinkle a little bit of Matrix in there. Deontay Wilder is that dude. Terrence Crawford, he has power. He can hurt you. He can stop you. And if you hurt Terrence Crawford, he will come back and hurt you. Bud, he has that dog. Bud has that grit. Bud has the skill. So if you hurt Terrence Crawford, this is the sport of boxing, so you can't pull out a gun and kill him. You're going to have to beat him. And when you hurt that man, that's when Bud wakes up. That's when that switch get flipped and Bud start looking at you like a can of tuna. You know what I'm saying? And that's when he turns into the big fish. And he starts swimming around that ring. And once you start getting them deep waters, you know what I'm saying, he will pull you under and he will drown you. You know what I'm saying? The same thing can happen to Errol, The Truth, Spence. Yes, he has a dominant jab. But Terrence Crawford, he is not going to sit there and get jabbed all night like Danny Garcia did. He's not going to do that. He has, just like when he fought Sean Porter. I keep on telling y'all, you look at when Errol Spence fought Sean Porter. Sean Porter put hands on Errol Spence. Sean Porter do got some pop. Sean Porter can move. And he got reckless. That's how he got caught with that shot. And he didn't even get dropped. His hand slightly touched the mat. And that's a knockdown in the sport of boxing. If Sean Porter did not get caught with that shot, he won that fight. You saw it at the end of the fight. You saw it in Errol Spence's face. You saw it in Sean Porter's face. The same look that Errol Spence had in his face is the same look that Sean Porter had in his face when he fought Ugas. Because Ugas, he should have beat Sean Porter. They gave Sean Porter the A-side nod, just like they gave Spence the A-side nod when he fought Porter. But the only decisive factor was the fact that he got that quote-unquote knockdown. Not because he was the bigger guy or the stronger guy. Sean Porter, he's a tough cookie. You look at when Errol Spence fought Mikey Garcia, the smaller guy. He could not stop or knock out, knock down, or really hurt Mikey Garcia. Yes, he outboxed him. Yes, he beat him up a little bit. But Mikey Garcia was game. Mikey Garcia was in there. He was in the trenches with Errol. And guess what? Mikey was a smaller guy. Just like Terrence Crawford, quote unquote, is a smaller guy in this fight. So when you hear fans talking about Terrence Crawford looks like a little boy compared to Errol Spence, I just told you guys this in the previous video, which y'all gave a lot of love. I salute you guys. Thank you for the love, you know what I mean, for supporting the brother in the channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe while we at it. Smash that like button. But I told you guys, just because, pay attention, just because Spence is dominant, excellent body puncher, phenomenal jab, he is strong. But that does not mean that he's going to go in there and he's going to walk over Terrence Crawford. Yes, these guys are going to say things during the buildup of the fight, but the reality is, the true, uncut, pure, 100% reality is, both of these guys have the ability. Let's not talk about skill. Let's talk about the ability. They have the ability to hurt one another. They have the ability to possibly stop one another. So if you are not putting both of these guys on equal footing, I guess as far as that concerned, then you really don't know shit about boxing. I'm no Andre SOG Ward or some of the, you know what I mean, Max Kellerman, no. But I train and I can fight. And if there's one thing that I know, my uncle told me this a long time ago. When we was on the block fighting, and I was fighting my man Ant, you know, well, we was like, you know, he wasn't fighting, you know what I'm saying, like that, but we was fighting. And I caught Ant with a shot. And keep in mind, Ant like 6'8", 6'9", big dude, you know what I'm saying, bouncer, big dude, big boy. You know what I'm saying? But I caught him with a shot. And we Muslim, you know what I mean? So you're not supposed to hit another Muslim in the face. And when I caught him, you know what I mean, I kind of reserved myself, you know what I mean? Because I caught him in the face. And my uncle was like, why you stop? Why you do that? And then we explained the situation. And then later on, like on a small block, you know what I mean, pulled me to the side and we had a conversation. And basically he told me this. He said, you never be afraid of somebody that's bigger than you. Because somebody who's generally bigger than their opponent, they use that size to intimidate them. You know what I'm saying? That's that bitch shit. It doesn't matter how big somebody is. Only thing that matters is skill. You look at what Bud did to Sean Porter. Stopped him, dropped him. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, like it doesn't matter who has more strength. Only thing that matters is who gets caught clean. And if somebody can recover or if somebody cannot. If Spence catches Bud, and Bud don't get stopped or he don't get rocked or he don't get dropped, Spence is in trouble because that's when Bud is going to wake up and he's going to attack Errol the True Spence. And if he hurts Errol the True Spence, Terrence Bud Crawford is one of the best finishers in the sport of boxing. He goes to the body just like Spence, has power just like Spence, but he puts his punches together better than Spence. In my opinion, his IQ is better than Spence. Errol Spence has mastered the fundamentals of boxing, which in itself is very important. But still, tools build. And Errol does have tools, but Terrence Bud Crawford toolbox is looking something like Home Depot. You know what I mean? He got some, Bud working with some things over there. You know what I mean? So Bo Mack is a phenomenal trainer, but Bud is just one of those generational talents that you don't see too often. That's why he praises Shakur Stevenson so much, because he sees a lot of him in Shakur. He sees that IQ. He sees the talent. That's why he gives him so much props. He's not giving him props just because that's his little brother. No, he's giving him props because he deserves it. It's one thing to show people love and all that, but when that love and when that admiration and that praise is coming from a real place, that's different. And Bud has the skill, the will, the IQ, the ability, the tenacity, the skills, and the tools to get the job done July 29th. It doesn't matter if he's not stronger than Spence. He got power. And if he catches Spence, he is going to get hurt. That's all I got. Talk Nation, stand up as your boy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And you already know how I ride. Share the truth. Talk Nation.
Fatality.